Hey, real quick. So y'all remember, when we took tests at school, and how, sometimes when we took the test, they told us that we had a certain amount of time to get the test completed, and sometimes, depending on who you were, it felt like the test was over very quickly, or it felt like you got the test done really quickly, and there was so much time left, but you had to stay quiet. You had to stay in that testing mode because other people were still taking their test, right? Stay with me. So this morning, as I'm reading Job, right? So I'm on this. I'm going to read the Bible in a year, right? And so I was reading Job chapter 8 through 11 this morning. And one of the things that I never really realized until today about this thing with Job was, because we all know the story of Job. He was, one of the most favored men in the Bible, and the devil was like, oh, well, surely you take everything from him. He ain't gonna fool with you no more, right? And one of the things, because during this chapters that I'm reading is basically his friends trying to consult him and things, and say, hey, well, maybe you did this wrong, maybe you did that wrong, but it's going to be okay, right? So one of the things that I just thought about was, when you're taking those tests in life, right? When you're taking tests, a lot of times you have to be quiet, but sometimes you get done with the test earlier, sometimes you just have to wait. And the thing about the period with Job is he was being tested. And he was trying to figure out why these things were happening to him, even though he did nothing wrong, but he still was tested, right? And it reminded me of so many people that feel like God isn't good because they are going through a test. Stay with me. And you feel like, man, why am I going through these things? Why does my life look like this? I'm doing everything right. I'm not cussing no more. I'm not drinking no more. I'm trying to figure this stuff out, and I'm showing up every day. And why do I keep getting these things? Why do I keep going through these things, right? You are being tested to see how you are going to respond, right? I remember when I used to experience trials, I'd be like, man, dang, God again. And I would blame God. I would be so mad. But then as I continued to do my work on myself, my inner work in my Bible as well, I had to understand that in the Bible, it says there are seasons for different things. And I had to also remember that I had prayed to God for certain things. I had prayed to God for peace, and I got chaos. I prayed to God for wealth, and I had seasons of lack. I prayed to God for, a lot of different things, and I felt like I got the opposite of it, right? But then when I realized what it was, it was training me up for, when I do get what I prayed for, I'm going to know how to act. When I do get what I prayed for, I'm going to know how to handle it. When I do get what I prayed for, I'm not going to lose it. Right? And even in those times, I remember just being real. One time I said, hey, God, I want some hips. I lost a whole bunch of weight. I want some hips, God. And now them hips is an 8-year-old little boy, right? And the thing, because I ended up getting the hips because I got pregnant. So we have to also be very, very specific in what we are asking God for and the way that we want God to move in our lives. But getting back on track, y'all, is very important for you not to despise those seasons that you have to learn, those seasons when you're being tested. And I know it's hard, and I know it's frustrating, and I know you want to give up, but if you just keep going, I have seen so many people experience I've experienced so many things, and people are like, why did you not give up? Because I knew that if I didn't get the lesson right now, I was going to have to keep on going through that same season, that same situation, until I got the lesson. I'm having issues with money. Let me go tithe more. Let me go see where my money going. Am I door dashing too much? Am I buying too many frivolous things? Am I spending too much money on clothes? Like, let me go and see what's going on, because God can't bless me if I'm pouring this money out the back door. Am I saying that I want my business to thrive and things of that nature, and I'm not being a good steward to my business? And this is not to eat you up, but if you feel like you've been bitten, hey, stay with me, because a lot of times we lack being real with ourselves. We think of God as this genie that he just makes things happen and that's it. But the problem is if God knew that we would have everything under control, we would have it all already. We've all seen those shows about those millionaires that won the lottery, right? And then the money was gone in two years, right? It's not that they couldn't get the blessing. They got the blessing, but it showed you that everybody should not have certain things, because and even if they do, that's on them. But some people don't know how to manage it, right? So in these seasons that you're praying and you can see yourself in certain situations, understand it may not go how you think it's going to go. It don't mean that God ain't blessing you. It don't mean that you can't get the result or the reward that you want. Sometimes it just means let's get back in the lab. Sometimes it just means let me do what I need to do. Sometimes it just really means let me write the vision and make it plain, and let me lock in with God, and let me ask God, hey God, is this what you see for my life? Is this where you see for me to go as well? And if so, let me know what I'm going to have to do. Let me know the steps I'm going to have to take in order to be able to accomplish this. So getting back to Job, right? That man lost everything, and it was not because of his own doing, right? He was tempted. And a lot of it was just a really, really poor excuse on the devil's part just to make this man miserable, right? But the thing about it is that he never cursed God. He was trying to figure out what did he do to cause this thing to happen to him, right? And it was nothing he did wrong. And I want to encourage somebody today is that this is just a season. This is just a season. If you're feeling like things aren't lining up, if you're feeling like you're having problems with your children, problems with your relationship, problems with finances, problems with your energy, problems with going to work out every day, whatever you're having problems with right now, it's just a season. And it will get greater later if you do not give up. And I know you saying, Erica, you don't know what I'm facing. I do, baby, because I done faced it too. And I know, and I can tell you, it gets greater later. It may not get greater in your own time, but look at the situation from a standpoint of, what is this trying to teach me? What is this what can I gain from this? I never want to go back to this. So let me go back and look and see what led up to these events of these things happening for this hardship to hit my life, right? Do I need to get a different kind of job to where I'm not just focused on somebody else paying me hourly when I know I could get paid more, right? Whatever the situation is, whatever that internal work that is that you have to do, or that internal thought process that you have to do, I really beg and implore you to do that work, because life is really short, but it feels long. You deserve happiness. You deserve peace. You deserve tranquility. You deserve all the goodness, all the things that you want, all the goodness that your heart desires. But just understand that for some things we have to work for. And some things are not just going to be given, because sometimes the things that are given, unfortunately, like we see all the time, things that we get for free, we tend to not really take it seriously. So the rest of your life, I pray that it be the best of your life. You have a great day.